Okay, and it is recording. And welcome everybody to this GoToMeeting about the November 2013 Pulitzer Project in St. Louis. That being the case, I'm going to turn it over to Mark.
Thanks very much, Arthur. And
All right, now, Mark, it's not quite over to you yet.
Okay. All right. Show my screen. All right. Thank you very much, Arthur. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull up my very short slideshow. And
can we make sure that Thomas can see it? Thomas,
yeah,
can you see?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
We're there.
Great. And Christine, I won't shut you out. I'll make sure that you know everything that's happening for the visually impaired for this moment. So what I have on the screen for the first slide is just our logo, and the dates November 14, 15, 18, and 19. So that's a Thursday and a Friday, and then a Monday and a Tuesday. So we'll have two different sort of offerings, and you are more than welcome to participate in both if you're interested. So I'm just going to go through them. And the reason that we have a Thursday and a Friday and then a Monday and a Tuesday is because the St. Louis International Film Festival is happening over the weekend, and we have a number of films that are going to be shown there. So we'll have some filmmakers in town, and they're fantastic people to kind of have in the classroom. So we're having one come a little bit early, and then a couple stay a little bit later.
Mark, can you hold 1 second, because Mark Norwood just came in.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good, good. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late.
No problem. There are 5 of us here. Mark Schulte from Pulitzer, who you've met, and we're working off his screen now. He's going to, give us the information we need to have about the upcoming project. Thomas Gramad from Metro is here. Christine Marshall from John Burroughs, though she doesn't have visual.
Okay, I have the visual, and I can see Mark and Thomas, and appreciate you letting me join.
All right, good. And by the way, we are taping this so that we have it available for other teachers what this is about. So are you okay with that, with the taping?
Sir.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, Mark Schulte, back to you.
Great. So, Mark, as I was saying, we have a Thursday and a Friday program, and then a Monday and a Tuesday program. That's November 14th, 15th, and then the 18th and the 19th. And the reason that we're doing that is because we'll be participating in the St. Louis International Film Festival, and we'll have some filmmakers and some photographers in town participating in that, and so we'd like to bring them into schools. And so let me just go through sort of consecutively what we have for Thursday and Friday. Is a documentary photographer and filmmaker named Shiho Fukada. She is Japanese. She's worked in the fashion industry. Kids are always interested in why you would make the jump from fashion and marketing photography to journalism, where there's no money, but she's a passionate person, and she brings a very sort of artistic eye to her topics. She's done quite a number of things, but what we'll be focusing on is the sort of human impact of the global economic crisis, the global employment crisis in particular, where you have sort of 30 million workers out of work as a result of the lingering impacts of the global economic recession. And one of the things that I really like about this, I always like bringing photographers, and especially photographers and filmmakers, because there's a much more for the kids who are visual learners and so forth to sort of wrap their heads around, and especially for an issue like global economic crisis, where you're speaking in big numbers and huge sort of macro effects. Having a photographer with a really artistic eye like Shiho go to communities in Japan and really get up close to workers who are, she's termed disposable, because they don't have the workplace security, anything like it that they once had, I think is a really great way to sort of humanize a difficult to grasp concept, or a concept that's difficult to put a human face on. So she's focused on this for us. She's done about a 30-minute movie, but she's got a lot of stills. She's first a still photographer, so she can talk about, sort of the impact, the way that the Japanese economy has changed. It used to be the envy of the world, as you all, I'm sure, know, for its kind of lifetime employment. You would work for Toyota your whole life, that kind of thing. They took great care of you. The company was your whole world. And now Japan has just totally changed. And for many workers, this guy you see on screen is living in an internet cafe. It's not uncommon. It's just a tiny little hole. He has maybe a few sort of temp jobs that he uses to get by. He can't get full-time employment. There are a lot of people like that. So she sort of tells their story. So it's an interesting sort of global civics, economics lesson with a human face. So so that's Shiho. Shiho is also a very interesting person, and again can talk about transitioning from fashion photography to journalism and the other projects that she's worked on. I can talk to you more about those if you're interested in more about Shiho. So she'll be available Thursday and Friday. That's the 14th and the 15th of November. Okay, here's a Shiho slide.
Christine, can you see now?
I can.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
super.
Looks like that.
Good.
Great.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Just in time to see Shiho. So that's it in a nutshell. There's more I could tell, obviously, but I just wanted you to get the gist of sort of what she would be talking about and who she is. So that's the 14th and 15th. On the 18th and 19th, should we do questions now, or should I ask for questions about Shiho before I go on to the 18th and 19th?
I think it's a good idea to take questions about Shiho now.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions about Shiho? Okay.
I mean, go ahead.
Where does she live in Japan?
She actually lives in Beijing now. She was born and raised in Tokyo, but she is now based in Beijing. She got her education in New York. She has a master's, I think, in English literature. So she is a global soul, and we love those. So she can speak fluently across cultures, and I think will be a really compelling person for the kids to hear about these issues.
Do you think that she'll limit what she talks about to the plight of the workers, or do you think that she might have some suggestions as to perhaps what could be done in Japan, how that might apply to other countries, so that we can kind of wrap our head around in a way where we're not just, being hauled down and out about it.
Uh-huh. Where do you go from here kind of thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Her work has many, many dimensions. So this Disposable Workers project is just one short film she did for us, but she has looked at many different facets of Japanese society, and she sort of has a window on how people are making a go of it now. And she's a success story in her own right. So I think she'll have a lot of interesting insights to share about where Japan can go from here.
Good.
Okay, well, I'll keep going. If you have any questions about anything, just go ahead and ask. But I'll move on to the Monday and Tuesday program. So this again is November 18th and 19th. So we're very fortunate to have Micah Fink, who is the filmmaker, and Maurice Tomlinson, who is in the movie. This is not a picture of Micah and Maurice. Micah has made a film called The Abominable Crime, which is a movie about homophobia in Jamaican society. So Jamaica, in case for those who don't know, is one of the most sort of viciously homophobic societies that we have seen in the world right now. This was not always the case. Jamaica used to be quite tolerant. So the film delves into some very interesting colonial holdovers and the influence of American, believe it or not, American televangelism in the 80s. It's a decade I grew up in, and I remember, sort of hearing about the fall of Jimmy Swaggart and people like that. They were very influential. That programming was exported to Jamaica, and Jamaica has a law on the books, an anti-sodomy law, that is almost never enforced, but is used as a way for society to sort of be complicit in the crimes against gays and lesbians in Jamaica. So the film, which is actually a very hopeful film, follows this woman on the camera, whose name I can't remember, and her daughter, and you can see Maurice Tomlinson on the right here, attorney and activist. It follows their two stories. They are two people who had to leave Jamaica. She is a lesbian and he is a gay man, but who find their own way, and Maurice is very engaged in moving Jamaican society towards a more tolerant, more accepting state, and he's working with the Jamaican government, and so the film sort of documents his struggle with that, and that's Micah. So both of them will be in town. So it's actually a very interesting opportunity. We have Micah, who is the the dispassionate journalist, filmmaker who made the film, and Maurice, who is the subject of the film and is an activist, can both come and give their perspective on the situation in Jamaica. Now, for this film, we can make the DVD available to teachers. It's about, I think it's about 70 minutes long. So ideally, you might want to, well, you can handle it however you want. But what I would just say is that we have a partnership with Wash U, and some students can come and introduce the film and have some things to talk to the kids about if you really want to, if you have the space and the interest to watch the film before Maurice or Micah come to your class. So we can offer that as well. I have DVDs right in my office, which I can ship off to you tomorrow. We are currently in a distribution deal with MediaStorm, which is co-producing Shiho's film. So I'll probably be able to get you that, but I can't send it to you right away. So we'll just have to sit tight. But as I said, she is first a still photographer, so she'll have lots of stills to show, and there will still be plenty to talk about there.
So, and Mark, forgive me for jumping in.
Yeah.
But that's a great service, right? I mean, it's really great that you're providing those things as well as bringing them in, because the chance to be able to watch them before they arrive and then have students excited and interested in that and prepared. I mean, your website's always been wonderful as well. But to have a feature-length documentary like that and then make it available to us is a great service indeed.
Sure, that's very nice of you to say. I appreciate it, and we don't always bring documentary filmmakers, so this is kind of an exciting moment for us both to have two different kinds of offerings and also filmmakers like this. So.
And did I understand you right? Then they will be a part of the St. Louis International Film Festival?
That is correct. Another thing that you could do if you were motivated, or you had students who were particularly motivated, is go to the St. Louis International Film Festival on Sunday, where they'll be screening The Abominable Crime. And so Micah and Maurice will be there, and there will be an audience and a panel and so forth. So they'll get the sort of full treatment there, and then if you have them come to your class on Monday and Tuesday, you can do a sort of deeper dive or a fuller talk. I've seen Maurice in classrooms. He is a very magnetic person. He is charming, and he gets up there and wraps the Jamaican flag around himself to say, I'm not here to bash Jamaica. I love my country, and I want to help it, move forward and so forth. So he's a really inspiring guy. Sometimes he steals the spotlight a little bit from Micah, who's a journalist, so he's a little quieter, but they make a great team. Shiho's film, I think, may be a part of a shorts selection. I'm not 100% sure how they'll be viewing that, but I do know that The Abominable Crime will be at 4:30 on Sunday, and I can send more information about where exactly that will be. Uh-huh.
Where is that going to be? Where was it going to be shown on Sunday?
The film festival has, I think, 3 or 4 screening locations. So, Christine, what I can do is I can send you that location when I look it up. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but it's on the website, and I can certainly.
It's on your website.
It's on the St. Louis International Film Festival website.
Okay.
So I could actually go to. I can go to SLIF. Here's 2013 SLIF. So it's cinemastlouis.org. SLIF 2013 SLIF schedule, and I'll just look for Abominable. In 413 at WashU Brown.
Okay.
Do you know where that is? I don't.
Ooh,
Is that in
very
the?
close.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is that in the Brown School of Social Work?
Yeah, I would assume
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Okay.
Great.
And what
So-
time was that on Sunday?
That's at 4:30 p.m.
30. Yeah.
And I see that we have shorts in here somewhere as well, and I don't know if Chiho's movie is going to be part of that, but as I say, I think we can probably make Chiho's film available as well. It's just not available right now. We don't have a DVD right now.
Yeah. Could you get few more tabs open across the top of your browser?
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
That looks like my browser, Mark. I'm glad to see that.
Right. Tab creep.
Yeah, that's good.
Clean it up.
That's good. Good living.
All right. So that's what I have. I don't want to take too much time, but happy to answer questions. And also, I think Arthur was kind of hoping, and I was too, that you might be able to at least give us some pencil-in dates for the 14th, 15th, 18th, and 19th. As I said, you're welcome to bring both of them in if you're interested. It's first come, first served, and
I'll tell you what, Mark, if I can
Yep.
take it back here and just show that I've got
Sure.
a little bit of a grid for it. Okay. Okay, so can you all see this grid for signing up here? This would be for Thursday the 14th, Friday the 15th, and it would be for Japan's disposable workers. And I can send this out to each of you and every other teacher as well. And then we've got for Monday and Tuesday on the abominable crime.
Now, I do not currently see it.
Yeah,
Do
it's
others
not
see
here
it?
yet.
I don't either.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
how about now?
There we go.
Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, so we've done this in the past. You know, I'll send these out and they're blank, and then as people respond, I'm able to fill it in. A question I'd have, Mark, just if you think that we should not allow one school to sign up for each of the presentations until every school that wants to participate is slotted somewhere.
That sounds fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Arthur's an egalitarian.
Yeah, that is true. We know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know Metro, only the Monday and Tuesday are going to be available to us, and
Okay.
we're open for whatever time of day on either of those.
Great.
okay. So what I'll do, Thomas, then is I'll just send this out to you as well as the others, and then and you generally like to have like the 9 o'clock presentation in the assembly.
Yeah, well, we have we can change our schedule if we need to, but we have like already pre-programmed schedules where we've got an 8:25 to 9:35 slot. We also have a 12:30 to 2:07, but we can adjust those if we need to.
Okay. It's great to talk to a school that can do that.
Yeah, well, we're going to have the whole school in here, so.
Yeah, good.
So we'd be interested in that.
From Tom?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll jump back
Okay.
again. I'm sorry then. Interested in the Monday and Tuesday because of the connection with what social justice is studying and some other things, but having it at the International Film Festival that same weekend is absolutely great. Mark, I did think also your comments about a photojournalist, when we've had photojournalists in the past, the idea of how well students understand the value of an image, and given that there are images everywhere in their lives now, there were some really rich discussions that were about the subject matter, and there's some really rich discussions about the nature of taking images and the power of them. So I think that's great as well. But I wanted to say also, if it ever got where you had too many schools for this, we'd be very happy to cooperate. I mean, we play sports against Metro and have kids who hang out on the weekends, so doing something together or with Burroughs or Narings, whoever's doing it, is certainly a possibility as well. So we could share some of these people's time and not necessarily have them booked for 8 or 9 hours a day. So just know we're happy to try and do that as well if it's better for someone.
Thomas, would you have room, or if you have the whole school, that probably wouldn't work?
Yeah, we have
full.
our largest student body ever.
Really? Okay.
They don't. We set up folding chairs in our auditorium now.
Yeah, if you get more than you need, I would rather do it at Crossroads for an assembly of our students or whatnot. I'm just saying, if you, Arthur, in the interest of your egalitarianism, if you end up with 20 people want to do it, I don't want the fact that I happened to show up on this night and was able to make it to rule out somebody else. So somebody
Well,
could certainly join us to do
true
something.
egalitarian there yourself, but that's something that we did in the early years of working with Pulitzer, and generally it didn't work out that well when we paired or tripled schools together. Doesn't mean we can't do it now. And I think it would be best if we don't have to, but on the other hand, if that's the only way we can get certain schools in, I think we ought to try it.
No, that's fine. We'll go with that wisdom, and we'd like them all day, Monday and Tuesday at Crossroads.
Sounds good.
No, I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, I see. Why do I have, what did I do here? It's the 18th. Gee, go ahead.
School visits. On these school visits, are we looking at basically 45 minutes to an hour, or what are we looking at?
Well,
Correct.
go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead. I mean, I haven't talked it over with the journalists, but one class period is usually what we plan on. Certainly, The Abominable Crime is a long enough film that we wouldn't want to try to sort of watch the whole thing and then talk about it afterwards.
But you're saying we could get a DVD from you on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd like to have one.
Great.
To show prior to
Great.
the speakers coming.
Great.
So, Mark, you can send that out?
Yeah, and so that I presume, Christine, means that Burroughs is interested in Monday and Tuesday as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and Mark, Crossroads will take the same DVD, and as I said, we're also Monday and Tuesday bound.
Yeah, and same with Metro. Although, if we're having trouble getting Fridays, I can talk to our film class teacher and see if he's interested in doing something with just his class. If you're having trouble getting people to take Friday days.
Could you? I'd be interested in exploring that. What do you think, Arthur? I mean, I would like to take him up on that offer.
To run it by me one more time. Tom, what was it you said?
Well, okay, we'd like to get a Monday or Tuesday, but if you're having trouble getting people to take the Thursday or Friday dates, I can talk to our film teacher and see if he's interested in doing something with just his film classes on those days. But we've already got like whole school stuff going on those dates too. I think.
No, I see. I think it's a great offer, but I think if we can reach all of the kids in Metro, it would really be helpful.
Sure.
Most particularly for them. But I'll send this thing out probably tomorrow or Thursday, and just ask for responses to it, and you can put down if the time that works best for you isn't in one of these slots, across the slots or whatever, or maybe if an after-school thing works better. let me know. The other thing is, Mark Schulte, I haven't talked to Karen Johnson about whether she'd be interested in an evening at Nearings, which I guess would have to be just one for one or the other.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing that up. Monday night, the WashU Area Studies program is hosting Micah and Maurice for dinner, so
Would Thursday night be available, maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. I think so.
All right. Well, we're not engraving this in stone now, but I'll check with her.
Great.
Very good.
And so I just want to clarify what Thomas is offering, because we do have two different, different programs. So I'm totally open to going back to the same school with different people. So Thomas, you're saying an all-school assembly with Micah and Maurice on Monday or Tuesday.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then if we need to fill some time with Shiho, that you might be able to offer just one film studies class, possibly
Right.
Thursday or Friday.
Right.
That sounds good. And so maybe just inquire about that. And Arthur, I guess we can see where the balance is based on the response that you get back when you email.
Yeah, and one area where we can cut back is like Stephanie Gavin at Hickson has wanted and gotten up to 3 hours at a time, and so that we can cut back on that, or maybe they can even double up with Webster.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't make that a priority, but it's if you've got slots that aren't filled and you want to take advantage of her being in here, we could do that.
That would be great.
Great.
And that'll ride
Certainly
the same
somebody else
way.
out for that.
Yeah. No, that's all good. You still going there, Thomas? I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Likewise, if you end up with more spots than you have, then we have either econ or sociology that the disposable workers would be a great thing to fit within one classroom.
Great.
If you end up with more slots, no troubles there. They both sound really fascinating, and I'm sure they'll be excellent.
Great.
Also,
All
I'd love
right.
to get people out to the film festival itself and see if we can get some students to turn
Yeah,
out
sure.
to that event. It'd be nice.
I think Christine had a question.
Yeah, I had a question on whether there could be some follow-up conferencing, sort of like this, that students might have with any of these journalists through the year.
Sure. I think that's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
I think it's introduction with them, but I think then they just kind of go off and,
Sorry about that.
and I would really that we could do some teleconferencing or Skype or something of that nature.
Great idea. Micah is based in New York, so that's a fairly simple logistical kind of setup for him, I think.
Okay.
Shiho is based in Beijing, so other side of the world.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great idea, and I know that they are both. I mean, they both jumped at the chance to come to St. Louis, so they're eager to talk to students, and I'm sure that will continue over the internet.
Will you have a similar setup in terms of the website? You've also had some correspondence that we could have with folks in terms of the web page. There was a little blog that we had for some of the photojournalists. Are you still building really substantial web pages to go with these projects?
Yeah, we'll have absolutely. I mean, I can send you the project page links, and they have blog posts and events we've done, and there's also Meet the Journalist videos that they've recorded where they sort of talk about their projects. So those are kind of good preps, and
Yeah, we've used those in the past, and they've been good.
Yeah, we have too. They're quite nice.
so I can put together some links for you all to
Yeah, that would be good.
dive in advance. And I'm happy to, as things move forward, I would just say to anyone, when it becomes clear, I mean, all school assemblies are one thing; those are great. But if we are going to speak to a particular class, like an econ class or whatever, I'm more than happy to talk to the to the teacher there and to talk to the journalist about how we can refine kind of what they talk about so that it's as pertinent to the class as possible.
Excellent.
Sounds great. Mark, could you send out a couple of the DVDs to Civitas? I mean, we'd like to have one and then have another one to get to a school on short notice.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right. Is this it?
I think so. We're right on time.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Terrific job, Mark. You know,
Oh,
so I think this is going to help. I'm a lot more clear. I would think that others are as well. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
thank you all very
Thank
much
you.
for
All right. Well,
attending. I
yeah,
really
thank you guys for getting this all set up.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Arthur.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
My pleasure.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
care. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.